Dominic Thiem edged Milos Raonic 7-6, 7-3, 6-7, 3-7, 6-4 after 2 hours and 31 minutes in the semi-final of the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells to set up a final against Roger Federer, who advanced without playing after Rafael Nadal's withdrawal due to a right knee injury. Thiem dropped just 24 points in his service games and saved the only break point in the fifth game of the third set. He hit 25 winners to just 9 unforced errors. Raonic produced 58 winners to 35 unforced errors. The first set went on serve with no break points and came down to the tie break. Thiem got too many breaks and raced out to a 5-1 lead with a backhand winner down the line. He sealed the tie-break 7-3 with a service winner. Thiem fired 10 winners and won 93% of his first serve points in the opening set. Thiem earned the first breakpoint of the match with a return winner in the fourth game of the second set at 2-1, 3-0, 4-0, but Raonic saved it with an ace before holding his service game to draw level to 2-2. Thiem rallied from 15-30 down to hold his serve at deuce in a hard-fought ninth game for 5-4. After 3 easy holds of serve, the second set was also decided by a tie-break. Both players went on to serve until the 8th point when Raonic got the crucial 5-3 edge. The Canadian player won the next 2 points to seal the second set 7-3 with a service winner. The third set went on serve in the first 4 games before Thiem finally got the first break of the match at deuce to take a 3-2 lead. The Austrian player consolidated the break by holding his serve at 15 for 4-2. Thiem won 77% of his service points and saved the only break point he faced, when he served for the match at 5-4 in the decisive set. Thiem served out on his second match point with a backhand volley winner into the open court in the 10th game after 2 hours and 31 minutes. He was pushing me back. He was aggressive from the first ball. There were not many times that I got to be on the offensive on the return games. When I did, I was not efficient about taking advantage of it, said Thiem. Thiem clinched the first win in his third head-to-head match against Raonic, who had beaten his Austrian rival twice in Cincinnati and in the NATO ATP Finals in London in 2016. Thiem has recently brought former world number 9 player and 2-time Olympic champion Nicolas Massu into his team. Thiem and Massu met for the first time during the Davis Cup match between Austria and Chile. Massu has started working with Thiem in Indian Wells. The Austrian player has reached a final at Masters 1000 level for the third consecutive year and his first title match on hard court. In his previous 2 Masters 1000 finals, he finished runner-up in Madrid on clay in 2017 and 2018. He will be bidding to win his first title at Indian Wells against 5-time Indian Wells champion Roger Federer. Federer and Thiem are tied 2-2 in their 4 head-to-head matches. Federer won his 2 hard-court matches in Brisbane 2016 and at the ATP Finals in London in 2018, while Thiem beat the Swiss player on clay and Roman grass in Stuttgart in 2016. Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from his BNP Paribas Open semi-final with Roger Federer due to a knee injury. Rafael Nadal, at BNP Paribas Open, Twitter. Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from his Indian Wells semi-final with Roger Federer after suffering a right knee injury. The Spaniard injured his during his 7-6-2, 7-6-2 win over Karen Khachanov in the quarterfinals. As a result, he has also withdrawn from next week's Miami Open. It was reported that Nadal had a 15-minute practice before a 10-minute conversation with his team where they made the decision to withdraw from the semifinal. After the announcement, Nadal emphasized his disappointment at the withdrawal. "I wanted to try my best to be competitive, but during the warm-up I felt my knee was not good enough for the level 1 need to play," Nadal explained. "It's tough for me to accept all these things that I'm going through in my career. Sometimes I feel sad because I'm in a disadvantage to all my opponents. I need to be positive and grateful for all the things tennis has given to me. I feel fortunate for all the things I've done in my life and the world of tennis." Even if today is a sad moment for me, I am grateful for what tennis has given me. Come back stronger, at Rafael Nadal. Heart. Next for the Spaniard will be Monte Carlo in mid-April after also announcing his withdrawal from next week's Miami Open. The plan for the clay season is Monte Carlo, Barcelona, Madrid, Roma and Roland Garros. That has been my calendar throughout my career and I hope to be able to complete it one more time. As for Roger Federer, he will now play either Dominic Thiem or Milos Raonic in tomorrow's final as he looks to win his 6th title in California. It will be Roger Federer against Rafael Nadal for the 39th time in the BNP Paribas Open semifinals, or will it be Roger Federer at BNP Paribas Open? Twitter, by Matthew Merriwolf. During his semifinal yesterday against Karen Khachanov, Rafa aggravated the knee tendonitis that has plagued his hard-court tennis in recent years. He was still able to finish off the dangerous Russian, but even Nadal himself admits he won't know how his knee will be for this match until he wakes up today. It's entirely possible he may retire from yet another hard-court tournament. Assuming he is able to play, we're in for a rekindling of tennis' most historic rivalry. The other men's semifinal will feature two men who have advanced to finals at both Grand Slam and Masters 1000 events, but are yet to win one. Rafael Nadal, 2, versus Roger Federer, 4. Rafael Nadal, at BNP Paribas Open, Twitter. This will be their first match since the Shanghai Masters in October of 2018, nearly a year and a half ago. Nadal holds an overall 23-15 edge in their head-to-head, but he hasn't defeated Federer in over 5 years, by far the longest stretch in this rivalry without a Rafa victory since they first met 15 years ago this month. Roger has won all of their 5 most recent meetings, all of which have been played on hard courts. That run started at the 2015 Basel event. It famously continued in the 2017 Australian Open final, which is really the match that turned this rivalry around. Federer came back from down a break in the 5th to beat his toughest opponent. The bigger racket face he changed to during an injury layoff in 2016 played a significant role. Roger went on to beat Rafa at this tournament 2 years ago, and then again 2 weeks later in the Miami final. Their last 3 matches have all been straight-set wins for Federer, ever since that Australian Open final. Both men have advanced to this semi-final without dropping a set, with Federer only losing his serve once in 4 matches. Roger has looked exceptionally sharp, and is on a 9-match win streak coming off his 100th career title in Dubai 2 weeks ago. Considering their recent history, the court surface, and Nadal's knee, Federer is the favorite to reach his 9th Indian Wells final. Dominic Thiem, 7, versus Milos Raonic, 13. Dominic Thiem, at Onavansa, Twitter. Both of these men should be fully rested ahead of this semifinal. Unlike Nadal and Federer, they got a day off between their quarterfinal and semifinal matches. And Thiem got Thursday off as well when Gael Monfils withdrew from their quarterfinal. Dominic didn't lose a set in his other 3 matches at this tournament, while Milos only dropped 1 in 4 matches. Raonic is yet to face a seeded player at this event, but he's 2-0 lifetime against Thiem. Both of those matches were on hard courts, and Milos took both in straight sets. Thiem though is a much improved hard court player since they last met in 2016, and he'll prefer the slower hard court in Indian Wells. However, Raonic has achieved much more previous success in the desert than Thiem. This is the first Indian Wells semifinal for Dominic, while Milos has advanced this far in all of his last 4 appearances. I like the big serving Canadian's chances to reach his 2nd final in tennis paradise. Other notable matches on day 13, Marcelo Melo and Łukasz Kubot, at Spendinas, Twitter. In the women's doubles final, the best team in the world, Barbara Krejcikova and Katarina Sinikova, 1, versus 2 top 15 singles players, Elise Mertens and Aryna Sabalenka. In the men's doubles final, an established team of Łukasz Kubot and Marcelo Melo, 6, versus a newly formed team of Nicola Mektic and Horacio Zeballos. Angelique Kerber has praised her aggressive side to her game as she reaches the BNP Paribas Open final at Indian Wells for the first time in her career. Angelique Kerber, at BNP Paribas Open, Twitter. Angelique Kerber has praised the aggressive side to her game as she defeated Belinda Bencic to reach the Indian Wells final. It was a fine evening's work for the German, who reached the Indian Wells final with a 6-4, 6-2 win over Belinda Bencic. The Swiss was on a 12-match winning streak, having beaten 6 top 10 players, before Kerber neutralized her game in an impressive display. After the match, Kerber praised her aggressive tennis, which won her the match. "I was finding my rhythm a little bit, especially in the first few games," Kerber said in her press conference. "And then I start to stepping in a little bit and playing really aggressive. I think that was the key, that I really took the match in my hand, and I was going for it. That was also the game plan, to really playing my tennis again. You know, I was really trying to focusing on my tennis. So I was not looking too much on the other side on the court. I was really trying to really stay concentrate from the first point." It hasn't been the greatest starts to a season for Kerber, who had her confidence knocked by a hammering loss to Danielle Collins at the Australian Open. The German admitted that she has learned from those losses and is now starting to play some of her best tennis. "Yeah, I have learned a lot, especially in the last few tournaments after Australia, that I really on the right way to play, that I try to improving my tennis during my practice sessions," Kerber explained. "But then when you're going on court, it's always a different style of tennis because the nerves are, the pressure is there on court. That was actually the goal here, to playing every single day the best I can play, yeah, and it works so far." In the final, the former world number 1 will play 18-year-old Bianca Andreescu, who continued her good run by edging out Alina Svitolina in the last 4. The Canadian has become the first wild card to reach the Indian Wells final, and Kerber is going to enjoy the occasion. She will enjoy the final. "Like me, I will also go out there and try to play like I played the last matches," Kerber stated. "I know it will be tough challenge, as well, because she played well. I saw the match today a little bit, and I know that, yeah, she is playing really hard and she is going for it." The final will take place on Kerber, with both women competing in their first Premier Mandatory final, with Kerber looking to kickstart her year.